Mason Mount looks like he doesn't want to be a Chelsea player anymore, and he doesn't want to put pen to paper. And Chelsea have gone ahead to really provide him with a new contract, has gone ahead to say no to it, and looks like his agents are meeting out with several teams to see to it that they really sign the player called Mason Mount. And now Arsenal have held talks with the agents of Mason Mount, and it's the 90-minute football revealing this to us. Welcome to this channel. Good morning. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and let's go, guys. We are talking about, again, Bukayo Saka is into the mix, and it's Dan Murphy, the former England and Liverpool midfielder, really revealing to us that how far can Bukayo Saka go, because he has shown us that this season he has gone ahead to elevate from what he had the previous season of 2021-2022. But how far can he go? Can he reach the levels of Mohamed Salah, Riyad Mahrez, as far as their goal contribution has been concerned in the previous seasons? Another huge question, and we are going to let you know what Danny Murphy has gone ahead to say about it. And lastly, we are talking a little bit of the Arsenal player known as Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson is really a player that Arsenal is really working hard to keep him at the club of Arsenal, but looks like the player is sold on a thought of leaving a team of Arsenal and playing out elsewhere. So, Rokani David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And please subscribe, because we want to hit 14,000 subscribers before the end of this month. Today is 25th, meaning that we are left with 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. Just 6 days left to go, and I think you guys are going to make this huge miracle. Mason Mount, 90-minute football. Arsenal have held talks with agents of Mason Mount as they seek midfield additions. Our planning has already been done. It has already reached the owners. Now we are taking things step by step, says Arsenal's transfer chief, Edu. Now, the 90-minute football have told us that Arsenal have held talks with the agents of Mason Mount as they seek to add new midfield additions, and they've also gone ahead to let us know the words of Edu. Edu is really a very good sporting director of Arsenal, and has gone ahead to elevate Arsenal to the next level. And it shows you how keen Arsenal are to go on and really hit on Mason Mount. Then 90-minute football told us that Mason Mount's contract at Chelsea is due to expire in 2024, and the West Londoners have reportedly placed a £70 million price on him. Arsenal's interest in Mason Mount as part of their broader strategy to strengthen their midfield and build on their successful season. Now, let's discuss about Arsenal holding talks with the agents of Mason Mount. It's concrete. You know, the interest of Arsenal in Mason Mount is concrete. I read a story yesterday of David Austin saying that Man United, Liverpool, and Arsenal are all in for Mason Mount, and Mason Mount doesn't want to stay at Chelsea anymore. And I think one of the things that really scared him is how Toddy Boyle has gone ahead to sign players anyhowly. I think if you're a player who holds huge future onto yourself, and you see your team being run like that, you know, spending £700 million, and you couldn't find yourself in a situation of really even qualifying for UEFA Europa League or Champions League, and you couldn't be in the top half of the table, you know, you worry a little bit. The way he has gone ahead to sack managers at Chelsea is really scary. And to a player like Mason Mount, who was introduced to Chelsea by Frank Lampard in 2019 and has been at Chelsea for the last 4 years, he finds it weird. That is not usual of Chelsea. We knew that Abramovich used to sack managers and getting new managers, but his success was really hinged on one thing. He would back every manager and get him exactly what he wants. I think Mason Mount is a boyhood child, old footballer of Chelsea. We know that very well. He supports Chelsea. He has been at Chelsea since he was 8. The moment is going to hate to allow or give audience to teams like Arsenal, and his agents are talking to him or to them, it's a clear indicator that he is 100% sold onto a thought to leave Chelsea. And I've given you the reasons that are really sounding, because the way the club is run, it's in a total mess. It's in a total mess. And he doesn't know whether even Pochettino will really leave the test of time. That's why he's looking at teams like Manchester United, Arsenal, and Liverpool, who have a very clear plan of their managers, and their longevity at the club is really great. And I think that's one of the things that he's looking at. 24 years of age, he's left with 1 year to hit his prime. If he comes in at the club of Arsenal, he knows that Mikel Arteta is going to be here for a very, very long time. With Granit Xhaka leaving, Arteta is also sold onto a thought of playing Declan Rice, Mason Mount, and Martin Odegaard in the midfield three, because Mason Mount is a good player, that's it, going forward, and he is really relentless. His intensity is out of this world. He runs a lot, and I think Mikel Arteta is really hunting this player. But it's not only Manchester United, it's not only Arsenal that he's interested in signing this player. Man United, Liverpool are also there waiting to really sign Mason Mount. But the big factor is £70 million is the amount of money put onto the head of Mason Mount. I heard that and I laughed. I laughed all day long about it, you know. Sometimes teams need to know one thing. When you are not into the position of strength to keep the player, you just need to let the player go on like 40 or 50 million pounds. That's it. Because Mason Mount is left with 1 year on his contract. That's it. 24 years of age. Now, even if you heighten or accelerate the value of Mason Mount to 70 million pounds, he would say, okay, let me play 1 more year and I'll go on a free. So Chelsea is not in the position of strength to really put 70 million pounds onto Mason Mount. I believe Mason Mount is going to go in for like 50 million pounds. Amidst 3 teams going in for him, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, and that might call in for a bidding war, but it's not going to work as Chelsea wants it, because there are very many players in the world that can do the Mason Mount job and are at like 40, 35 million pounds. That's it. So Chelsea should know that the player wants out, and his agents and entourage representatives are talking to Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool. You tell me, is he a good addition to Arsenal? I understand he's a very good addition to Arsenal, but it will depend on Mikel Arteta's plan. If Arteta is really building his plan onto Mason Mount, as Edwards told us that they've already gone ahead to hand in their targets to the owners of Arsenal to see to it that they facilitate them, he will maybe thrive in that midfield, because you give Mikel Arteta the benefit of doubt. Almost 99% of the players Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to sign have gone ahead and really hit the ground running in their first season. Gabriel Magalhaes hit the ground running in his first season. Ben White, Zinchenko, Aaron Ramsdale, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard. So all of the players are going ahead to sign, and he thinks that starters have gone ahead to hit the ground running. And I think it's good to see that Arsenal are going in for Mason Mount, and having the squad depth is really important for the club of Arsenal. Then, after Mason Mount, let's go to Danny Murphy onto Bukayo Saka, a man that has just been rewarded a new contract at Arsenal that's going to keep him at Arsenal until 2027. Now, Danny Murphy on Saka, this is what he had to say. The only thing for me for Saka, the only thing is what's his ceiling. So I'm looking at him thinking with his ability, strength, his quick feet, his two-footedness, his strike, his goals. He's got 14 goals this season. Not forgetting his assists that are 11 and double figure of assists. That is what he's really saying. And everything he has talked about him here is right. But this is the task ahead of Bukayo Saka next season. Dan Murphy has continued and let us know that when you look at the best right wingers scoring more goals, Salah is a great example for someone who will always score goals. Can Saka go another 20% out of him? 25% out of him in the next couple of years and start hitting 20, 25 goals with 15 and 20 assists a season? That is the big question that everyone should be asking himself about Bukayo Saka, because we've seen this on very many English players. You know, there is a level that they will reach at and they really stagnate. That's it. So when you look at Bukayo Saka, he has been a player who has always found himself in positions of obviously registering the best that he can every season. When you look at the season of 2019-2020, he played 26 Premier League games for Arsenal and he scored 1 goal and put up 5 assists. The season of 2020-2021, Saka played 32 Premier League games and he scored 5 goals and put in 3 assists. So every season, Bukayo Saka elevates. Every season, Bukayo Saka elevates. The season of 2021-2022, he played 38 Premier League games. He scored 11 goals and put up 7 assists. That is Bukayo Saka for you. And this season, Saka has gone ahead to play 37 games. He has scored 13 goals and put up 11 assists. Meaning that, as in comparison to what he did last season, Saka has gone ahead to score 2 more goals from the ones he scored last season, because he scored 11 and this time he's going to have to score 13. He has gone ahead to add 4 more assists on the 7 that he really did last year. What does that mean? It means that he is a progressive player. Even next season, we expect the best out of Bukayo Saka, because more confidence is going to be built into him by Mikel Arteta, and will be focusing onto the new normal at Arsenal of really being that man that has been a big pillar of Arsenal this season. That is Bukayo Saka. So let's wait and see how he's going to go ahead and really do the needful next season, because if he can go ahead and really score 20 goals and put in 15 assists, that will be another additive onto his performances that is going to have to put in this season. That means we'd have gone ahead to add on 7 more goals and 4 more assists. That is really a top class performance from a player. If at all he can do that like Mo Salah, look at Mo Salah, every season averages close to 30 goals, you know. If he can average 30 goals in all competitions, then Saka will be that player that most of us think he can be. That's it. Now, lastly, let's do a little bit of Reiss Nelson. Fabrizio Romano, as yesterday, he brought you a story about Reiss Nelson, and again today, Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to really give us an update about Reiss Nelson, and this is what he had to say. I can confirm that Arsenal new proposal to Reiss Nelson is for contract valid until 2027 plus 1-year option. Short-term deal was discussed and then rejected weeks ago. Talks now ongoing on long-term deal, but Nelson has bids from Italy, England, and France. This is where I really worry a little bit for Arsenal and the way they want to keep Reiss Nelson. I understand there is a player in Reiss Nelson, but Reiss Nelson is not a player who is going to keep Leandro Trossard and Martinelli out of the starting 11 of Arsenal. I think they should admit that a loss has been made. Arsenal is doing this in the name of really wanting to get money from Reiss Nelson. That's it, like they did for Eddie Nketiah. You tell me that Arteta is sold on to having Reiss Nelson as a competitor. Sorry, is sold on a thought of having Edin Ketia as a competitor for Gabriel Jesus, Norway. He might be thinking of Lautaro Martinez. He might be thinking of Dusan Vlahovic, such players. And for Reiss Nelson, I understand that I was going to hate to have some flashes of good performances this season. But if Arsenal wants to go where they want to go, they need to get in players that can easily compete with those on the starting 11 of Mikel Arteta. Like you see on the right back, Tomiyasu can easily come in and bench Ben White. Kientieni can easily come in and bench Zinchenko, Jorginho can easily come in and bench Thomas Partey, Trossard can easily come in and bench either Martinelli or Bukayo Saka. But there are positions that Arsenal are really lacking such competition, like Saliba's position, Odegaard's position, Saka's position sometimes, because Arsenal needs a left-footed player who plays that side, and Gabriel Jesus' position. So Reiss Nelson, I think Arsenal are fighting hard to keep him, because they know that if at all they can convince him to sign a new deal of 4 years, they can sell him and really get close to 30 or 40 million pounds from him. I think that's the reason behind it. But they're not fighting to keep him because he's going to be a player who is going to come out and obviously do the needful for the club of Arsenal. So let's wait and see what is going to come out from the newly proposed contract to Reiss Nelson from Arsenal. And so that puts us to the beginning of the end of this story. And tell us what you think about Arsenal holding talks with Mason Mount agents. That's it. Then Bukayo Saka, how far can Saka go? And Reiss Nelson's new contract being offered to him by Arsenal. Do you think he should put it on, or Arsenal should let him go? I sign out for now. See you later. Good morning. And I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God protect you. I'm out.